The motion,
just the
motion for leave to introduce the bill.
I seek leave to introduce.
You're moving the motion, thank you.
Okay, moved motion. I want to introduce this bill on the planning and development climate emergency measures for the second time in this Dáil term. And I do it for one reason, and that reason is the climate emergency. The crisis is real, it's deepening, and our failures to halt it or even try to deal with it is not just blighting our lives and the lives of our grandchildren and future generations, but it's blighting the lives of every person alive today and every creature that lives on this planet. It's here and it's happening now. And despite the crisis, global emissions from fossil fuels continue to rise. National emissions continue to rise. Record temperatures continue to rise. And global extreme weather events are almost on a daily basis. The determination of the global corporations and governments to continue with business as usual is beyond astonishing. And it will take more than legislation to challenge this. It will take a mass movement across the globe. But this bill points to two areas that we could address immediately. The first one is to introduce a real and effective ban on data centres in the planning process. When I last introduced this bill, just over a year ago, we were told we had just about 70 data centres here, consuming 15% of the state's electricity. We were told that it'll be okay because we have an effective moratorium and data centres are essential to the future and to a green transition and climate action. But we now know that there are over 82 in fact, that there are another 40 in the planning process, with a further 11, incredibly, not seeking permission to connect to the national electricity grid, but to the national gas grid. 14 centres are presently being constructed, and the 40 that already have planning permission will consume more energy between them than the 82 that already exist. This is the very definition of madness. They consume 18% of all electricity in the state. We cannot continue to allow this or any other sector to grow and demand such energy while at the same time lecturing ordinary people about their behaviour. Money and big tech industries have managed to switch the narrative and go on the attack and pretend, no, we're not the problem. In fact, we are the solution. And so while the Greens are in government and lecture ordinary people about their consumption and behaviour, it seems that data centres and big tech industry corporations get a free pass, but the state at all levels bends over to facilitate them in whatever they want. From lax tax regimes to lax data regulations to a free pass to consume whatever volume of water and energy they need, this state is the plaything of those global corporations. And no, they are not the solution, or they are not key to decarbonising the economy. Yes, we all use social media, and yes, we watch Netflix, but the 80+ data centres that are here are not to cater for our demands. They are here to monetise and to commodify every interaction that we have online. The big tech corporations behind these centres jealously guard what they actually do as commercially secret. So we simply don't have the facts on what portion of what they do is essential for society is actually needed. But we do know that vast proportions are concerned not with human need, but to commercialise and to help corporate greed and the determination to sell and to commodify every aspect of human existence. To paraphrase what the rich said many years ago about tax, climate change and climate change measures cannot be just for the little people. Behavioural change is not just for the little people, for workers and ordinary farmers. It must be for the big corporations and for the tech giants and the global rich and their profits. The second measure in this planning process that this bill attempts to do is to ban any siting of LNGs in the state. And incredibly, after 3 years of the Greens in government, we do have the imminent threat of an LNG being sited in either Cork or Shannon. And again, we need to challenge the narrative around gas and LNGs head-on. Gas is not a traditional, a safe or a bridge fuel. LNGs are not essential to energy security or to our future energy needs. Indeed, the war in Ukraine is being used on multiple fronts, by those that want to abandon neutrality and by the global fossil fuel industry. It has unleashed a veritable carbon bomb on the planet at the very moment when we need to reduce our fossil fuel use and extraction. So to push to build LNGs here is very much part of that global push from the fossil fuel industry. And whether it's fracked or non-fracked, and whether it's commercial or non-commercial, it will unleash more emissions, it will deepen our dependency on fossil fuel at a key moment when we desperately need to do the exact opposite.